I think we are off for a whirl of a start.
From the other side.
Now presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Okay. I just wish now that thing was shorter because I'm so excited to start the show with Heather Hartford and Michelle Gray as our two mediums, and we'll give y'all information in a minute. So you guys be sure you have a pen and paper, pencil, paper, whatever. And of course we have my dear friend, blog member Lambert Scalvini, and I'll give you a little background. Lambert and I have been talking for several months, and we've discovered that he's in my soul family. He's been brother, son, father, mother, probably to Erik. They are very, very close. They've had many, many lives together. And, of course, I'm sure the rest of my family members and I, including me, have. So, what's it saying? Leave site. I didn't do anything. Oh, it's a negative entity. Okay, anyway. I'm not gonna touch that thing. It says, okay, so it probably is. But anyway, so one day, I got my dowsing rods, right? And I had this long prayer of protection for myself. It's been so long that I just say the code word that represents the many pages, apples. And I picked up my dowsing rods to ask a quick question. And 5 seconds into it, oh my God, I forgot apples. Okay, well, it was too late because the negative entities just got in there, and that night I was going to sleep, and I saw, and I know nothing about negative entities, this black blob with red glowing eyes darting about my bedroom when I was trying to sleep. And it was rushed up to my face and I was terrified, and I didn't understand why, because, well, it's not, a real person with a knife or an axe, Lizzie Borden style or whatever. Why am I scared? But it for some reason evoked terror in me, and I grabbed my husband, and oh God, so scared. He's going, what's going on, man? So anyway, but then I just, the sun rose and it was okay, but then I talked to Lambert about it, and I discovered that he knows a shitload about dark entities, negative energies. I don't even know the difference.
Shadow people. They're also called shadow people, demons, shadow people.
Right.
Oh boy, now I know why I was supposed to be on here tonight. Oh.
Okay, yeah,
oh my God.
Okay, let's hear this.
Well, Lisa, did you want to talk about your experience first?
I've had a lot of them.
I already did.
Which is why
But
that was her. Somebody.
Elisa said she wanted to open. Oh, you did. You opened with okay, well, all right. So I think I'm meant to tell my story. And this is the first time I've really told my story out in public like this, but
please do.
This is the first.
Erik handpicked Heather. Erik handpicked Heather tonight and said, he whispered to me and he says he wanted Heather on tonight. So Heather.
I know why. My hair's standing up. I know why now. And he's like you've got to tell this story because so I have seen an entity with my own eyes. I've seen it. And what happened was I was raped when I was 10 years old.
Oh,
and when that happened, the perpetrator, all I could see was this animal-like creature. It wasn't even human.
Okay.
That came up to my face and sort of sucked into me.
Oh.
And so I was 10, and I had a healing because I've done 2 years of life-centered therapy training because I had a healing through life-centered therapy. Elisa, you did an interview with Dr. Andy Hahn, who's absolutely amazing. So now I do it, but he removed this entity from me, and so ever since I was 10 years old and that happened, I could not take a deep breath. I always felt like my lungs are small. I can't take a deep breath. I can't deep breathe. So when I went through that healing, actually I became 10 years old again, and I saw again this entity, the face. I mean, I'll never forget the face because it was not human. And
what, can you describe it?
Yeah. Okay. So
maybe Lambert can tell us what it is.
It's sort of like okay. So there was darkness around it. So but all I can remember is I think it had a dark hat on, like a
shadow
bowler hat.
person with a hat.
Like
okay, yep.
Bowler hat.
Yep. That's,
somebody actually reached out to me today. A good friend of mine, Stacy, wanted me to ask about the Hat Man. But that's, I thought of that too. But he had a hat on, but he had this like white, like his face wasn't a human face. It was like it was bone, but animalistic features.
What do you mean?
So the face was like not so it was the shape of a human face, but it was like white and gray features.
Was it like? Did you say it was animal-like? It had a mustache?
It was animal-like. It was not a human face. That's the one thing I remember.
Like an alien, like E.T.
No.
Face?
It was like a creature. Like a creature.
Are you saying it had a mustache?
And there's nothing, because this is the thing, is that there's nothing I can compare it to, because I've never seen anything like it. So you can't compare it to an animal. You can't compare it to a human. You can't compare it to a cartoon. There's nothing that can compare to the face that I saw.
You can draw it.
When I could probably draw it, but when I had this removed from me, I went through the whole procedure of bringing the light in and it leaving. Didn't want to leave. It did not want to leave. But this was last
point.
year. Okay, so this happened when I was 10 years old. So at 49 years old, I had this entity removed from me, and for the first time since I was 10, I could take a deep breath. And
your life has been hell.
All day, yes, all day. All I did was, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, I can breathe. I've never been able to breathe like that.
I will stop you and say that trauma, and this is not just for Heather. Trauma opens up big holes in your energy that should not be open. Plus, it closes the good holes that are supposed to bring in creativity, abundance, etc.
Mm-hmm. The thing is that
when you open up a bad portal to these negative entities, that's their door to enter, and I'm sure that's what happened to you. And Erik says, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I asked through a medium, I can't remember who, that 80% of people have open portals and negative entities. Is that true?
I will say, that, may I ask a question? How did this, at 10 years of age, do you know what brought the attack on? Was the house haunted?
Yes, I do. I know. I can tell you exactly what brought it on. Okay, so my grandmother.
Like to know that.
Okay, so this is fascinating. I come from a family of especially women who were sensitive and able to connect with the other side. My grandmother started playing with the Ouija board around this time. You got to hear this whole story. So she started playing with the Ouija board, and my brother was playing it with her, and it was. I remember one day when my brother asked my mother, my grandmother was there, we used to live in Florida on Seminole Lake with the alligators and water moccasins, and my brother wanted to go skiing or swimming in the lake, and my mother said no, and my grandmother said in a really weird voice, "Let him go." And so there was this negative entity around at that time in Florida, and that's where it came from.
Okay. Nothing unusual. Sometimes people cannot, they'll throw them, they'll burn them, and it'll come back, and they'll see the same Ouija board back in the house 6 months later.
my door just opened. My door just opened.
And after this cruel rape and possession.
Wait. Heather, your actual door just opened by itself right now?
Yeah, it just opened. Yep.
What is that, Erik?
Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I heard it.
Heard. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Yes. What is that, Erik? Michelle,
I'm protected. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because that wasn't my first brush with an entity. I had one when I was 3 as well.
Okay, but I
anyway,
that's not an entity. That feels like Erik.
Who is that?
It's
protection.
protection. It's protection coming in.
Yeah,
it's extra protection because I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that. What's that entity? And so now that it's in my mind, I'm being extra protected. So my doors, my black cat just came in and she's running all over the place. So I'm not scared.
But Erik,
you know what?
But Heather, I want to make sure because you're too close to the situation. I want to ask Michelle who opened the door because you might be too close to be objective.
Well, right when she said she opened the door, Erik said that it's me. And right before she said,
my hair stood up.
He showed me the door being opened to allow in more for her, like in benefit to her. So protection would make sense to what he was
God bless
saying.
you, Erik.
But that's Erik right there. And he also said that we've got nothing to worry about tonight, and that's part of why he was saying in the beginning about how this was going to run, about how we're going to discuss it and whatnot. But he said that this wouldn't be able to happen. We wouldn't have this conversation if any of us were put at risk, or if any of the listeners were.
All right, so let's put the focus now on Lambert.
Just one more thing. The doors swinging back and forth.
Yeah, that's it. That's Erik. That's Erik. All right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Off the door.
Go ahead. I felt like
my God, Erik, don't break. Whatever you do, don't break wind there and prank. Okay.
Of course you will, because I do the same thing to him. But
my God,
I feel like I was meant to be here to share that story because I think people can resonate with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that you can heal from it.
Yeah.
Lambert,
yes.
Lambert, I would like you to talk to us about how do we know? How can we? We'll talk about the different types too. But how does one know that they might have a negative entity, torturing them or playing with them or whatever? How do we know?
Okay, there's a lot of different ways. Okay, if it depends on the type of entity. For one thing, I do want to finish her story for her. What she was attacked by, she said bowler hat, black, that's a shadow man.
Yes.
Shadow person, they can change shapes at any time. They can, and children, they are especially are so weak, they're easy to prey on, and they will attack children. They will get to the point, now raping them, that is one of the worst things I've even heard. And they're very bad. Pardon?
Is that the same as the Hat Man?
The Hat Man, yes. The Hat Man, the black shadow man with a hat.
Yes.
They're called by different names, and they can change their features on a dime. And so that to me, of everything I've read, those are the most dangerous. Now to go on to the next, how do you tell what you're dealing with in your house?
Yeah, Lambert.
Okay, here's a problem right here. How do you define what a poltergeist is? One demonologist will tell you, well, it's just a prankful ghost. And in some cases they are. They'll light up toys, and make, funny sounds in the house, and you learn to live with it. You never, because it doesn't bother you. It's not a harmful thing. Other cases, you can come into a house, let's say, that was already haunted by what I would call a ghost.
Earthbound spirit?
What they do, a spirit and a ghost, I believe, are the same thing.
Is that the same thing as an earthbound spirit?
Now, a ghost can be an earthbound spirit. It all depends if they were murdered and they have a grudge. They stick around. If they were children and they're lost and don't know how to find their way after their deaths. Erik, if you can you, am I saying the right things as far as this goes? I don't want to be okay.
He says make the difference between earthbound spirits and negative entities. There's a difference.
Right. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And they hang around because again, they might have been murdered, and they get the angry ones will stomp things, but they'll start off normally subtly with taps on the wall, going up and down the steps. Then they'll pick it up. They'll start shaking things in the cupboards. And, they might write something on the wall, and they'll do things that stop short of actually hurting you. Mm-hmm. When you get to a real demon, like the bowler hats, I think they come from a different dimension, or, I can't say that, but I do believe they have such control that the black shadow people control the nasty ghosts that are in a house. They've got that much power that they can control these people, and then you'll start noticing them because they'll levitate your children off the bed. They'll scratch you, and it's usually with 3 scratches. They'll bite you. They'll do all kinds of things because they're the most malicious, evil, heinous things I can think of. And the frightening thing is you can't see them unless they want you to see them. And when you do, you get the hell scared out of you.
I have another story on the bowler hat person with my son. With my son.
Go ahead.
My son.
It's okay. We need to learn.
Okay, so it's my son was diagnosed with bipolar, right? He's 21 now. Ever since he was about 8 or 9 years old, he's had this recurring nightmare of somebody chasing him and grabbing him, and it's been recurring, and he started to loop in his dreams, and it was the same person and same thing. And year and a half ago, after my first year of life-centered therapy, I tried doing a healing on him, and we did the healing and found out. I brought him back to the crystallizing trauma to when this thing came in, and he described it as standing on the end of the dock at camp with a bowler hat on and a long black trench coat.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we removed it. And since a year and a half ago, he has not had this nightmare since. And he's
no
21
more bipolar.
Now.
No more bipolar.
He still has bipolar, but we're working on.
But has it lessened that?
That effect at night that was physically hurting him is gone.
Thank God.
You know what? I'm wondering how many. I'm wondering if your son is truly bipolar. He might be, or sometimes the negative entities love to feed on the misery of people who are bipolar, or sometimes.
I learned that from Erik.
The symptoms of bipolar disease, not just one entity, but it could be other entities that could be evoking the symptoms of bipolar disease in your child. So you don't know. And if you go to AtlantisScalar.com, and you can, there's a way that you pay it's very cheap. I can ask Erik, is your kid really bipolar? Or is he being tortured by negative entities? Because I found out that Erik was. He was not truly bipolar. He was tortured by negative entities that eventually cost him his life.
Mm-hmm.
Erik says, Heather, your son, he says that part of his bipolar is part of his contract.
Contract. I was just going to say, Erik told me that. Yeah. It's part of, in my contract, too, to bring up, I'm starting a nonprofit for mental health.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, mental illness does leave you susceptible to these spirits. So go on. I want to hear more about.
Yeah, okay. Lambert, what other kinds of the shadow people can you talk? Well, first of all, can you agree, or maybe you can not agree, that negative entities come into our energy, our home, our space, when trauma blasts open holes in our energy? Is that always the case?
Yes. Alcoholism, drug use, just angry people, bad.
Well, but trauma, just any kind of trauma, like child abuse, etc. And then
exactly,
alcohol or whatever, and that can that can open. That. They encourage that. They facilitate that, or they cause it. I mean, it could be cause or facilitation, I guess, right?
Yes, and most of the time in those instances, it's not understood as that. They have no idea why. Mm-hmm. They just, it's just, more bad luck, or what is this, and they go into a deeper hole. Mm-hmm. And if I say anything wrong, Erik, correct me, because I don't want to say anything that will mislead the public.
I feel it. Now I'm going to ask the mediums one question. There's a very small percentage of the portal work, any kind of energy work I do with Erik and the divine team, who I love, through Atlantis Scalar, that is not as successful as we want. And I'm wondering if that's because it seems like it happens when the person or people in the household are empaths, or perhaps it's because they have an inordinate amount of somebody's at my door of negative entities. I mean, is being an empath? I mean,
Erik's saying that there's a part of it, like just what he was saying before about contracts, that there is some of it there that say that an empath or some people might have part of their contract to be able to release and work through something on their own or get to a certain point on their own. So you may be able to lift some of it from them, and that you and Erik can do some of the work, but it may be part of their contract, part of their agreement. But there's also that point too where Erik's just saying that they could have a very heavy load on them, and some people would maybe require a little more. Some people require a different timing. So maybe in a
work all the time, and it's really hell because the repeat is so much more brutal, physically, emotionally, and psychologically for me. So I'm wondering if people should be screened. Are you an empath or not? And if you're empath, you need the empath protection, service first. Otherwise, the other shit's not going to work.
Erik just said that's a big point, Mom, because he says, "Love you, Mama. I love you." He says that that's a big point.
I love you, brother.
He loves you too. He's been talking y'all up all day. He says that's a good point, Mama, because it's like ordering something. If you're not really looking at the menu, and you're not really, because he says it's not all about just putting it all in somebody else's hands, saying you pick for me. This is you, people. He says this is about you. So you need to really think about what you need, and you really need to look over the services so that you're choosing something that really resonates with you. He says it's like anything else. He says you have to follow your intuition.
What you just said is right on. I have been struggling with the dilemma. Do I require people to get the console? I've lowered the price to $20, and if they get any services, empath protection, portal work, healing, whatever it is, that gets deducted, that gets credited. Because there's too many people that are ordering things they don't need, waste of money, doing it in the wrong order, and or whatever. And so, it's like, do I make it like you have to do it, or you better do it, or I can't guarantee the success?
Yeah, he said thumbs up to that. He said that would be a lot easier on you and everybody else.
Requiring it, or just having a caveat that it ain't gonna work if you're an empath. You better find out if you're an empath first. If you're an empath, you need to do that first. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right, y'all hear it, man. I mean, it's like there are a lot of empaths out there.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Lambert,
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, one, because you're a font of information and you're so bright, and he does poetry that's out of this world. But I also want to know, are there other negative entities besides the hat person?
Well, remember, they can change to anything. They change forms.
Yeah.
And are there any other negative entities? Yes. Do you always see them? No. That's where I draw the line between the ghost realm, which makes the noises and does certain things and wants to stay in their house, and the demon, which is usually invoked or sees a hole, and that's the shadow person that's above the ghost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So now I will say with portal work on y'all's homes, we always guide the earthbound spirits into the light, and we seal the land. And very often, what I've seen, according to Erik, is that people with a whole bunch of negative entities, they live on either land that has ancient burial grounds, or has seen violence, family feud, sacrifices, torture, war, whatever. And we seal that completely, and we guide these people to the light. Some people die of natural causes but because of the nature of the violence on the property, they can't go back home. Some
That's right.
are so depressed because of the negative entities harassing them that they take their lives. Some are murdered by people who are tortured by negative entities and go crazy. So those are kind of the three things that I know about. And that's all taken care of for free because, of course, you have to be compassionate towards children and adults that are stuck here. And, okay, I'll tell you a funny story.
There is something that Erik wants to make a point of, and I think that I think that you can, Lambert, you can help us confirm this. I'm sorry, it's coming in quick, but he's saying that everything comes from pure light source. Yeah. And that they were once pure light source, and they can be again. So fear is what they feed off of, fear, and your lack of feeling like you're not in control. We are way more powerful, and so just remember that.
I was going to mention it.
Oh, sorry.
They feed off of fear, and the more they can get off you, the more they'll stomp that floor. And with the black hat, the black hat, you might actually hear them say, "I'll kill you."
Yeah.
Or things that force fear. Pardon? And
Lambert,
this is what gets me.
Can they kill you? I'm going to say that probably not because they could.
No.
But maybe they just want to keep you alive so that you can keep you in misery or anger or hopelessness or any other negative emotion they can evoke.
Lambert,
that's what I thought. Pardon?
It's Michelle here. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I wanted to mention, we kind of got onto this a little bit earlier, but I had a close friend of mine that several years ago, she was attacked by an entity, and she describes it as a lizard. It was like a lizard, and this was a
reptilian?
physical sexual assault. Yes.
Reptilian.
Very physical.
And did it have a tail?
Back.
Yes. She felt it all. She saw it, and she said she was so terrified. And how she got it to leave was she screamed out loud, "In the name of God, leave me now," and it left.
Okay. Now, what intrigues me is there are many species of reptilians, not all bad, but the Earth is humming with some very bad ones that can play tricks with our minds because theirs are more advanced. Where did what in what situation did this happen? What were you doing? Where were you?
She was in her home. She had been through a lot of trauma throughout her life. And she was in. She feels that this being was with her for a very long time.
And it chose to manifest as a reptilian at that time. Yeah. Was the rape completed?
It was during.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's what happened with me.
Yeah.
God.
Okay. What was during the?
Seeing
that you saw the entity.
It was raping her, and then she screamed. The only thing she could think of, she said, it came to her just to scream out loud, "In the name of God, leave me now." And she did, and it stopped.
And it did. It stopped and never came back.
Never came back.
Okay. Now that's one for the books because it's a reptilian, and there are so many different stories of reptilians that there have been reptilian rapes. And on this planet, but in places that we are not supposed to know about, but people give their lives to get the information out. And all I can say is whatever manifested there never has been spoken of as something that will manifest in a house and rape someone. Never. That in any of the I'll have to go and read the literature on that because remember I said that's why I wanted to set a difference here between ghosts. I don't believe they come from the same dimension.
Right.
I honestly believe that ghosts stop at being ghosts. The black hats and shadow people, the nasty ones with the red eyes that could have lifted both Rune and Elisa in the bed with one hand, they're totally different.
And that's what my information has been too. It's interdimensional. It's not all in the same dimension.
I'm right then. I was right.
Yeah.
I was right. It is interdimensional. That means that the higher dimension, and it could be the fourth dimension. You remember where I was talking about the jinn, Elisa, in the Middle East? Yeah. I've actually seen films of now they take them seriously, and I've seen exorcism films of the Imam exorcising the demon in the person, and their eyes are rolled back, their tongue goes out 20 feet, and their backs arch. I mean, they treat them seriously and as the jinn, and they're very good at what they do, the imams, and it usually works. But the jinn is one of another that's considered in the fourth dimension by certain societies, and since we have that split dimension, there's good and bad in the fourth dimension. I was thinking, could the black hats could they be a part of dark force in the fourth dimension, or are they from a different dimension?
Let's ask Erik. Erik, where do the dark the hat people come from?
He's calling them lower dimensional. He says lower fourth dimension.
And fourth dimension.
Yeah, and he's also saying that if you think about, I just heard a whisper too. I don't know if that just came through on the I just heard something whisper. Anyway, he's saying that if you think about angels and angelic beings and how they come in groups and how we call them archangels, he says, now let's flip that around to the other side and think of like a leader and having groups underneath them. He says it goes in the yin and the yang, the same thing with the darker forces, because he's commenting what you said, Lambert, about how they have like a more powerful entity that has other ones underneath of them, or ones that are influenced underneath them, almost like a boss.
Okay, so my intuitions about all these were right.
Yeah.
And I'm surprising myself. What tried to interfere with us? Somebody heard a whisper?
Yeah, when I was talking there, I don't know if it was like just here in the room with me, or if it's going to be picked up on the radio,
Erik,
on the sound. But
Erik,
is Erik sensing any negative energies right now in your room with you?
There aren't any.
No.
Okay.
No, I think
so
it might have been Erik. It might have been Erik.
We should
guy.
start taking callers because we're at 43 minutes now.
I'm sorry if I kept this
going. Okay.
Fascinating information. A part 3, whatever it takes. You have a lot to share.
Erik,
from negative entities. 80% of people, man. We've got to have you back.
Yeah.
Erik, Elisa, let me say to Erik, I love you, buddy, and you let me answer these questions right so people don't have to go looking. I suspected they were in the 4th dimension. You said lower, which made sense. The higher you go in the dimension, the more you go towards God, the more you go towards the 5th dimension, and that's when we change. Now, I'm glad that we answered these questions anyway. And I love you, buddy.
Lambert,
couldn't love you more.
Lambert, we have a lot more questions for you, so you have to come back. Now, the funny story I want to share with y'all is I was doing when I do portal work on families, I always seal the land if it's a lot of whatever, if it needs to be sealed, and get rid of the earthbound spirits that we just talked about. And while I was doing it on one person, they were driving in their car, and in the back seat was her usual earthbound spirit. She'd gotten used to it and all that. She's friendly. It's like, oh, what are you doing back there? She says, and well, I'm just hanging out in your car. And then all of a sudden, he has this what the fuck look on his face, and he just sucks out of the window because Archangel Michael and Raphael, or I can't remember who, guided him back home. So it was so cool.
That is cool. That's wonderful.
Well, we can callers then, and Lambert, I'm sure you will have people asking questions too.
Yeah.
I'm who, me?
Yeah.
Hello.
No. Yes.
Oh, am I cool?
Lambert, how do you kill a negative entity?
That's the problem. You can't.
White light.
How do you kill a ghost? You can exorcise it, but it's dead. And how do you kill a being with three-dimensional tech? We're talking, let's mix science here with the paranormal. We're three-dimensional technology. They're up over us. They're smarter. They're in the 4th dimension, and they're nasty. You can't kill them. You've got to find ways to send them back.
Right.
And that is why they have all these different types of exorcisms now. It's no longer just the Catholic Church. There's pagan, there's Native American, there's Wicca. There's all kinds to try and get rid of these nasty. But nobody knew that they were from the 4th dimension. I just intuited it, and I was right. I figured it had to be.
What Erik has developed a script for me that says, it's with great love, respect, and gratitude that I call upon the Archangel Michael and his entire dominion to, and they love their adverbs, okay? So here we go. To immediately, permanently, absolutely, entirely utterly, completely, awesomely, wholly, and fully burn any and all negative entities and energies around, blah, blah, blah. In his
just
fire, fire, flame,
too much.
You missed it. You
just
missed
white light. You don't need to do all that verbiage.
You want me?
Also, in portal work, Metatron Metatron sends them to the light, forces them to the light. So I've got that language too.
Okay, so are we protected tonight then?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're protected.
I figured when I heard it. Yeah, I just figured, and he knows how much I love his family. He knows how much I love his mother, and he knows I love him. How do you love an angelic brother? You feel so small. You feel compacted, and you look up to a 25-year-old angelic brother and say, "My God, you're becoming an angel. What am I to you? I'm so small."
He says you see it in the trees.
I see it in the trees. You're so right.
In the trees.
You're so right. And the squirrels and the birds and the bushes and the grass.
And you see it all there. He says that's where we all are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So
oh my God.
You're not a small being to him. You're all that. You're all that.
My
more.
God, I love you
You're
so
all
much.
that.
Yes, I will be back. I will be back anytime for you. You know that. And I also wanted to bring up the Gnostic Gospels.
I said what my kids say. You are all that and a bag of tricks.
In a bag of tricks. We should take some callers though, because we're almost done here.
I better shut up.
Thank you so much.
If we have trauma, okay, I would like to know how to protect ourselves from the open portals and the negative entities, but we'll cover that another time. Okay, so let's go ahead and take somebody from the 818 area code. Hi there.
Should
how
I
you doing?
stay on the line?
Oh,
yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi,
okay.
Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? This is Rochelle. So funny
Yeah.
I call on a day like today where you're talking about demons. I'm in a situation right now where I'm dealing with someone who is obviously evil possessed, and he will not stop stalking me.
No coincidence.
He's
not here.
Right. And something extremely terrifying happened last night. So I'm just wondering if you guys can pick. Erik has anything to say about what I'm going through, because everything's starting to just. I'm trying to get footage right now from a supermarket from what he did last night, and I've never gotten the police's help on this. They just really have failed me. And
you can't do this by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. And also, is this echoed in your life? There's this what brought you to this situation is something that's echoed in your life.
Right. I've been dealing with him for 29 years.
Okay. Yep. This is an echo. This is a past life trauma, and this is something that.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that already. Erik says that it's time to start healing from this past life trauma, and one of the things that you can do to start to heal is that you cannot do it on your own anymore. Stop trying to.
I know
got
I can't.
To get help. Get the help.
I really, really need help.
Yes. He says this is why it's been echoing for so long, ever since you were a child.
Yeah.
And he said because you don't ask for help, because asking for help means punishment to you. So
because every time I've asked them for help, they've let me down, and they've accused me of made me the victim. Made me not the victim.
Okay, that's he says that's the barrier you have to break through.
Okay, can I recommend something?
Yep.
I just made the decision to offer the consult with Master Angel Erik Mooney Medhus for $20 that will be used, that will be credited to whatever you need in the way of services. because you need something. I don't know if it's empath protection. I don't know if it's
I'm a psychic.
Portal work. I don't know, but you need. I feel like you need that, but we don't have it on the site yet, so you need to check later. What do you think, Erik? Do you have recommendations for her?
Portal work. Michelle and I both do this.
Yes.
Yes, the portal work I do want.
Michelle does, and I also do life-centered therapy where I find the crystallizing trauma in your past life to heal it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Erik, does she need to go to AtlantisScalar.com and get a consult from you to find out? Does she need portal work from one of these people, from you, from Divine Being?
Yeah.
Does she need
and if money is an issue,
past life trauma report?
Life After Life Channeling Erik, the fundraiser group, will pay for it.
Okay.
Wow. Anyway, it's $20.
Like
you give back. Okay, so I really want you to do that. The only reason I charge $20 is because it takes me a while. Number one. Number two, there has to be energy exchange, or it just won't work. I can't get the dozen fucking rods to work. So
I know, right?
AtlantisScalar.com, but wait until my son gets this brand new cheap ass price for his consult in year, okay?
Okay.
And please reach out to me. Send me on Facebook so I can do a life-centered therapy on you for free to find out where this crystallized.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's how important this is.
Erik brought you right here tonight, Michelle. So take it and take this step for yourself. And this is help being handed to you. So take this help and take these steps forward so you can start living with contentment. You've not lived with that.
Yeah, it's not punishment. It's not punishment.
No.
Right. I don't want it to. I just want it to end.
All right, so let's move on to the next caller. But thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Oh, I feel so positive for her. Oy. All right, so we have somebody from the 210 area code. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Elisa, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing?
This is Mike. I'm not sure if you remember me from San Antonio.
San Antonio, Mike. What's going on? What's up with that?
Well, lately, I met a person. My wife and I met a person who is a intuitive medium. She's working on her abilities, and about a month or two ago, I actually was able to read people, and I gave 6 people readings about their loved ones who crossed over. It was a strong feeling that I was getting, and I'm feeling like I'm also coming to my abilities now. Now, something happened where as soon as I started to do readings, which I was very accurate on, I would have these. One of them was a satanic dream. It was really weird, and then it was a demon dream. Scared the hell out of me.
Oh, Lambert might help you with that.
Well, then I had we met our friend who lives out here in San Antonio, and we met up with her a couple of weeks ago, and she gave me black tourmaline, which is a crystal, and so I brought it. Tourmaline, okay, black tourmaline. I brought it home. I was laying on my bed. I had both hands on it, and I looked at it. I was thinking, wow, this is very ancient, kind of mystical. And I had both hands on it, and all of a sudden I felt a burning sensation on my stomach, like a bite mark burning sensation. I lifted up my shirt, and there was 4 little scratch marks on my stomach. Oh. And the burning sensation lasted for a good couple hours. And I tried to replicate it. That morning I clipped my fingernails, so there's no way I could have scratched myself. I tried to replicate it with my fingernails or even with the black tourmaline crystal. Maybe I scratched myself or something, but I couldn't do it.
Lambert, what's going on? Lambert?
I can tell you.
I think that the problem is when people are light workers and they try to do good and help, like when I try to find somebody's guardian angel or discover that they're part of some big angelic project.
Right.
The negative entities fight the shit out of me. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
hey, my fucking house burnt down when I started.
Oh yeah. It can. it can almost destroy you, and you have to build yourself back up. In your case, you said you did 6, and you just started, right?
Yeah, I just started.
I
think.
What?
I told it, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave. Now, and in my mind, I said that, and I'll raise my hand. For me, it was my old traditional religious background belief. I no longer practice religion, but raise my hand to the square and say, in the name of Christ, I command you to leave my house and my family alone. And so I have faith that that might work, because I still believe that Jesus Christ, a supreme teacher, master.
Yes.
I don't know.
Jesus is.
Okay.
But is this continued?
No, it hasn't.
Because you stopped doing the work. Have you stopped or?
No, I haven't. I kind of stopped because it's kind of draining. But this happened during this past week. So the readings I gave was about a month ago. So the scratch marks were recent. It was maybe last week, or I think it was last week. Yeah. So it's.
And the dreams were about a month ago.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago.
I think you opened something up with your inexperience, and your inexperience actually allowed, because you sound like a very nice guy that wants to help people, and these demons will prey with fear. They love fear, and you might have opened the hole. You might have opened the hole that allowed one of these to come in, and in this case, you have to go to a higher power of some sort, or even talk with a priest, a minister, talk with a pagan, talk with a Native American. When it comes to that sort of thing, it's very hard to get rid of them to begin with.
I don't think Mike
and
is afraid.
You might.
No,
you might have.
Erik says
just by doing the readings and being a light worker and pissing the negative entities off because of that.
I'm not religious, but I'm not scared either.
Erik said, has this come from your family?
About religion? I have bad experience with religion.
No, about the negative entity, the negative experience.
No, I just started reading people, and as soon as I started reading people, I had these.
No, before this, it was something that was carried on from your childhood.
Yeah, it was traumatic experiences that I had as a kid. Yeah, very, very
that's
traumatic.
where it's coming from. It's asking you to heal that.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. Well, thank you so much.
Mike, I'll just add, because Erik was just saying to me that part of it too, because Heather, that's bang on. That's exactly what Erik was saying to me, and he says this is about empowerment to yourself. Because yes, a higher power to help clear something, but this is true trust and belief in yourself as well. Because there's a subconscious belief that there is power greater than you. And this is about healing and stepping into your own power. This is not a path for the weary or the weak. And so this is really standing in your own power. And so do some investigation into your past and into the beliefs that you were raised with as well.
Yeah, Christ.
Yes,
I believe Christ is my Savior. I with me.
Michael, you do not realize your own power. I've always seen that about you. You don't give yourself enough credit. And I'm wondering if the past life thing, the trauma origin report would be good for him to learn. Is there any bleed through from another life, past or future?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is. There's also extraterrestrial.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Future. Okay. So
does that resonate with you, Michael?
Huh?
I'm sorry.
Does that resonate with you?
I don't mean to laugh, but I feel like maybe in a past life I was like a priest or some type of spiritual healer.
Yeah.
It could be a future one. It could be a future one.
A tall white. You were a tall white. Look that up. You're going to resonate with that.
Okay.
A tall white.
Thank you so much. And like I said, I believe
get a trauma origin report, please.
Trauma
recommendations, something like that, because you need to figure out this life that's bleeding through to this one, or you're going to have a hard time navigating yourself through this life and helping others and being the light worker that you're destined to be.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Hi to Jennifer.
God bless you.
Bye.
Okay, I have a question. I lost something in the translation there. Did he say, when did he say these started, though? Was it his turning to light work that actually turned on something from his past?
Yeah.
About a month ago, he said?
Yeah, but I think that he's always had open portals with negative entities entering that I think have been really making him suffer a lot. There's self-confidence, self-esteem, empowerment issues, etc. And they love to feed on that shit. And
what worries me
is they become a light worker, and then they're like, no, hell, you're not, and so let's scratch the shit out of you so you get scared and you stop.
Well, see, that's the problem, is that they've taken it up a big notch now with the burning, which is common, the scratches, the pain that can last for hours, biting, he even said, everything I was saying before. That usually is the mark of a black hat or a shadow entity.
Wow.
I can't think of anything else that it can be associated with. That's what bothered me. Why would the shadow be, harping on this poor guy that's just trying to do good? But you know what? He's trying to do good. They don't like good. And they see a weakness in him that they are manipulating. And I don't know what it is. That's why he needs to come to you or Erik or somebody.
Lead through from another life. That's his. I think that's his little chink in the armor.
Right, but he's going to really need. He's going to need some help.
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy. Because he is
awesome. So guys, we're only 2 minutes away, so I want y'all to share y'all's information. We'll start with Heather Hartford. How can people get in touch with you? And
Facebook, Heather Hilton Hartford. You can friend me. I'll add you to my group, Common Ground Cafe. My website is CommonGroundHealing.com. And you can book readings under tarot readings, and I do connect with spirit.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right, Michelle Gray.
You can reach me at thehealingheart.com, and that's healing-art.com.
And she does a lot of stuff. Energy healing.
I do a lot of stuff.
Mediumship, etc. And Lambert, do you want to share any information or?
I don't have any because I'm just a historian, basically. And I understand what's going on, and I've lived it. I've lived a lot of these things.
And by the way,
I've actually experienced them. So
he is a veteran. He is a Vietnam War veteran, and I think.
Thank you for your service.
For his service, he has been through hell and back. He's a beautiful poet. I mean, it's just, I can't say enough things about him.
Amazing.
I would love to connect with you too, Lambert. So please, reach out.
Yes, anytime, and anytime you need me for discussion for any topic you think I can be useful on, please.
Yeah, he knows a lot about essential oils. He is a font of information, like I said. So anyway, everybody in my soul family has to be like that, dude. All right. So thank you, Lambert.
You're welcome. And remember what I said about the Gnostic Gospels. I thought it'd be interesting sometime.
We should discuss that.
We will. And
right,
I love you and thank you, all of you, for accepting me. And my love and light goes out to all of you.
Erik says, I love you, brother. I love you,
I love you so much.
I love you, Erik. I love you, Heather. I love you, Michelle. I love you, Lambert. Talk to everybody later. Until next week.
I love you guys all too.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.